Ever since I watched Sleepless in Seattle many years ago, I've always dreamed of living on a houseboat. I know, it's such a romantic notion, and not at all practical. Recently, I watched the television series The Last Thing He Told Me, and the main character, Hannah Hall, also lives on a houseboat with her husband. And once again, I fell in love with the idea. So when we stumbled upon Kauai Marina and its gorgeous sceneries, I thought of my houseboat once again. One can dream, right? After spending 2 full days in Sequoia National Park, we're on our way to Cambria, a charming seaside town along California's central coast. These days, taking things slow and enjoying each moment has been my modus operandi. Slow travel is easy when there's a lot of time. But what if we just have a day or two and not long enough to savor everything? When there's not enough time, I choose to visit fewer places rather than trying to see everything. Quality over quantity. It's hard at first having to give up other destinations in order to have more time in one city or town. But eventually, knowing that I don't have to rush through my visit in order to see more helps me enjoy traveling a lot more. I want to savor life, not rushing through it. If at all possible, walking is my favorite way to explore. I love this quote from Werner Herzog, one of my favorite filmmakers. The world reveals itself to those who walk. I treasure those quiet times when I get to soak in the atmosphere of wherever I am. When in a new place, I always look up indie bookstores and local libraries. These special nooks tell a lovely story of what life is truly like there. I try to schedule in some downtime each day, gaps in the itinerary, to leave room for some relaxation and freedom. Not having to rush through life is truly a luxury. To slow down, I choose to stay in one place for at least 2 or 3 nights if possible. And that gives me at least 1 to 2 whole days to explore. But my dream is to stay longer, much longer. A week, a month, a year. Cambria is such a cozy town by the sea, with cozy restaurants, coffee shops, and wine tasting rooms. Its quiet, laid-back vibes make it the perfect spot to enjoy a slower pace of life.
And on behalf of California State Parks, I would like to welcome you to Hearst San Simeon State Historical.
The next morning, we drove to San Simeon to tour Hearst Castle.
As we begin the riding portion of your tour, we ask for your cooperation. Please stay seated at all times and keep your head and arms inside the windows.
My friend and I signed up for the Grand Rooms tour and the Upstairs Suites tour.
There will be a trash container when you
The shuttle ride up to the castle was about 15 minutes, and the views were breathtaking.
walking tour. We thank you for your assistance in helping to maintain this beautiful place. The road you are traveling is the same one the art collector and newspaper publisher William Randolph Hearst traveled when he began building this estate with his architect Julia Morgan in 1919. They worked on this project for 28 years. All his life, William Randolph Hearst referred to this place as the Ranch at San Simeon, even though in later years he gave it a more formal name, La Cuesta Encantada, the Enchanting.
travel the world and did travel the world as extensively as William Randolph Hearst did. This right here was his architectural firm in San Francisco. Julia Morgan was the first female licensed architect in the state of California. wasn't even supposed to exist in the original play. With that Roman temple. Quite a few Hearsts around. He was for this place because he did have University. This is where William Randolph Hearst and all of his guests would have had all of their meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Fireplace, 16th century Italian ceiling, certainly that means this sparks criticism from some of his guests. This was her notes as well. To quote Julie and this city has modern extension on you normally can't tell the difference. Billiards game, which is a game that relies on banking and geometry. It would be considered an all-male retreat here in the country, cosmopolitan, popular mechanics. Motor was his very first magazine. He owned 2 film production companies, one called Cosmopolitan.
Exit the bus, watch that last step, it's a big one. If you're on the taller side, watch your hand.
Just think, we are all special in something that we do. So when you come across the Atlantic, one rainy winter weekend, he and Marion Davies cleared out all the junk from the center of the room. That's what he called it in his autobiography. Once every 5 or 10 year occurrence, and it snowed, and he felt sad, and he draped them on all the statues outside so that they would stay. 14th, 15th, 16th century. These lampshades are made out of pages out of old choir books. ceiling, and it was Julia Morgan's idea. Century Socarrat tiles from Maine, and I like them because. And then here, if you don't believe me about whimsy, Captain Goose. And that may be a baby phoenix. And then on my version of the story, the bunnies live happily ever after. Now there were originally 107 of these tiles. Most of the rest of them got sold on to other museums. Almost everything here, about 95% or more of what we have here, is stuff Mr. Hearst bought after he decided to build this place. This was from his private collection from one of his first trips to Egypt. You know, most of us buy t-shirts as souvenirs. He buys that. So let's go see my room. And the bells were actually originally going to be hung in here. That's what the arches were for.
If you're still here after all this time, thank you so much. If you like the vlog, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already yet, please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next vlog.